Isengard has been successful and has taken Helm's Deep, and now their armies march into Gondor to take out the men of the White Tree. What's up, guys, and welcome back, Lord of the Rings fans and Dawnless Days fanatics. We are back with another land battle for you here today, as we have Gondor versus Isengard in this 1v1 here on Nindalf as well, one of the new maps for Dawn State. So yeah, very cool map, that is for sure. And we have a classic showdown here of good versus evil. It's a 1v1. Unfortunately, I am away, so this is just like a video that has just kind of been spammed out, it was scheduled. I think at the time it's coming out, I'm just kind of like still in the midst of like moving in, so it's just kind of like a video that's been put out. But yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy anyway. And we'll just get straight on into it. It seems like Gondor and Isengard are just kind of just standing off right now. I don't really know what Gondor's doing with his archers, as the Thillian Rangers so far forward, these Dunedain. I guess maybe to try and just skirmish with the enemy if you can, maybe hold them back. I mean, risk is obviously the wargs could be, could get these rangers, but I mean, I guess it's also a bit of a bait. He has spent a lot of money on those rangers though, and a lot of money on archers generally. To be honest, bring Gondor archers as well. He's then got Gondor swords behind. It's a very like tier 3 sort of center, and even his Gondor spears on the flank here as well. He's got the men of Lambden on those flanks, and he's got Gondor spear cavalry and Gondor cavalry, which I don't actually think we've seen in a video yet. This is the new melee cab unit that Gondor has available. It's just Gondor spear cab basically with a sword and a shield, and they are not bad unit, that's for sure. And we don't no Knights of Silver Swan bar the general. He's got all his cav on one flank. Isengard actually, I think, no, he's matching for cavalry. He's got all the wargs. He's got 4 wargs. I guess it's 4 cav if you include the general. Spears on the flanks can certainly support those cav fights, that's for sure. I'd shift more of my weight to the left, that's for sure, as well, to maybe support that cav fight that's going to be taking place here. Because once you get your infantry into the cav, or in this case the wargs, you can then pull out your own cav and then use it elsewhere to greater effect. Because you don't really want cav, especially wargs, in an engagement with your own cavalry, because wargs are anti-cav. They will do a lot of damage, and it already looks like a few shots going off onto these wargs of Isengard here. I'd certainly weaken them. They are light wargs, so they aren't well armored, so definitely a good way to counter them. Also shoot the crossbows, because I mean you have range advantage over these guys. Yeah, also another great target to go for Gondor here. Isengard, in my opinion, they should be the ones charging Gondor here. I think they've got some really squishy areas to Gondor that they could hit. The cav, I certainly think they can hit that with the wargs and get some infantry in, like the berserkers, which they have on the flanks here to support. That could definitely be a strategy there. Also, the spears and the axes here, in my opinion, not a strong defense, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, you've got Gondor spearmen here. I don't know why they're down as Northmen. I guess maybe they are. Could they just be like, I don't know, men? Could they just be men of Gondor? They're not really Northmen, not like Rohan or Dale. Not Northmen. They're not Southrons either, I guess. Maybe they're, yeah, they should maybe be their own sort of category, maybe. I know that they're not Dunedain either. That's just the Thillian Rangers. As these archers here, they start dueling with the Uruk archers, I imagine. Unless the crossbows have gone into range, they aren't in range. I think they are still taking fire. They're not firing back. And here we go. Here goes the attack of the wargs on the flank. And in goes the Gondor spear carry. I mean, it is melee cav. It might do okay. And like in a prolonged melee, but it's on a charge. It's probably going to actually lose out, I have a feeling here. The Knights of Silver Swan getting in there. And actually, look at that. We've got Isengard getting around the back here. And they're going to hit these units in the back. The Gondor cavalry here is now going to suffer. The wargs hit them in the back. And in those hounds of war go. See how they do. Yeah, they are doing as much damage as they can those wargs. And they are actually losing in this fight. We've got spears now joining the fight. Like I said, that's exactly what needs to happen. That cav there, though, is losing in a 2v1. Wargs are actually dying to Gondor spear cavalry. They are an anti-cav, really. And they are starting to win some of these fights. Maybe prolonged melee, they do a little better. Shock infantry on the flank there for Isengard. That is going to be a good matchup here. And I think these berserkers are going to get a lot of big kills. Spears, they excel really well against the shock infantry. And these axes are just pretty terrible. They're pretty cheap as well. We've got White Hand Stormers that are going in there as well. So that's another really top tier unit going in there. And their infantry is much better, I feel, than Gondor's. I mean, they're both tier 3, but I'd say Uruk infantry is slightly better being an infantry-heavy faction, that it kind of stacks like that. They've definitely got better stats. I can't remember the stats, but I'd say Uruk's have better stats, that's for sure. And there goes the Cav. It's actually disengaged. Actually, yeah, no, have they disengaged or they just kind of shifted on? I think they have shifted to try and engage the Berserkers here. They've been chased. Generally, needs to be careful. He's losing. Ugluk is, I think it's Ugluk, or maybe it's Maw. Oh no, he's gone through a gap. It's Mog, sorry, not Maw. Mog, and he's gone through a gap in the line. Really nice observation there by the player. Gone straight through. He's going to silence these Gondor archers. Mog should be able to get a load of good kills here. Only danger is if they can win these cap fights here, Gondor can then just cycle charge that Sword General and do a lot of damage there. Cav over on the flanks, as you can see here, is sort of winning the Warg fight. This one's winning, this one's losing. It's kind of 50-50. That's quite a close match there. Warg's getting routed here. Now they should really get the Cav out of these fights. They should not be engaged here. Let the spears just absorb these Berserkers. Uruk-hai pikes are actually losing as well. I think that's maybe because the spears hitting them in the flank. Yeah, the spears are kind of breaking up this phalanx here, hitting these pikes in the flank and downing them very easily. That might change now that the pikes are able to alter their line. And yeah, the archers here, they were winning these fights to start with against rangers. They started shooting at other targets. And now the Uruk-hai archers and crossbows are able to, gun down those bows.
Our men run from the
and there you go, Cavalry over here helping to, looks like, rout the Wargs. They are looking like they are about to go, and that will nullify the any cavalry threat that Isengard can offer. And then Gondor will have Cav supremacy. Actually, you know what? Isengard's going to be held at the moment. I thought their infantry would kind of rip through Gondor. Well, maybe not rip through, but, beat them. They're winning none of these fights. They combat even in most of them. This one actually, that fight, yeah, both sides are losing. I mean, that is kind of how war goes. No one is a winner. Everyone's a loser. There you go, yeah, the spears and the axes losing. That is a really good combo there, the Stormers and also the Berserkers. And there you go, the Cav has got into Mog. Mog is not really taking too many in the casualties. I think he's getting most of the attention as well of all these rangers and archers. So that's what they're doing. They're going to have to be careful with their general now, just pulling him in and out of combat at Gondor, because, yeah, he could die here. One stray shot. Yeah, like I say, the crossbows are shooting him now. Crossbows here are just blasting. That Knight is still a Swan. Whether he's going to go for any more charges, I don't know. If I was Gondor, I'd be careful sending him in again. But you might need to, because lines are breaking. Men of Lambden there getting destroyed by the Uruk-hai infantry. That is no surprise there. And Mog now kind of being freed up, having defeated the archers. He can go for hammer and anvils. And here we go. Uruk-hai infantry are starting to win more and more of these fights. They are slowly grinding down Gondor's lines. Still losing that fight there, both of them though. Mog's going after more archers. He's really desperate to silence those guys. And there you go, enemy general dead. He is getting focused down there by crossbows and archers, and that is him gone. And that might be the game for Gondor here, as the swords actually get in. They rout all this cavalry, which I don't think the player realized had re-rallied. And now they'll be able to maybe rout these rangers, and then they can go for rear charges. Can Mog in a moment here. I mean, it's a pretty close fight up until now. I mean, there's a lot of troops left for, yeah, it says enemies like 300, allied 113. But to be honest, Gondor was winning like Cav fight, and he was winning on the flanks here with the Berserkers and Pikes were losing that fight. Other side, not so much. It was definitely more in favor of Isengard. But yeah, a really good fight nonetheless. Sent in by one of my subs, K-Pleb. So thank you very much, man, for sending this one in. Going up against McClare. I mean, he's sent some pretty decent replays in the past. It's not a bad one at all either. So yeah, if you want to send in any of your own replays, do send them in to my Discord. The link is down below in the description. So you can do the same and then have your videos and your battles featured on the channel. But yeah, we'll have a quick look at some of these kills. K-Pleb here getting 159 kills with Mog, 103 kills with the Uruk-hai infantry, 113 with another there. Uruk-hai infantry here getting 192 kills. Stormers 114 and still very healthy. Berserkers 142 kills and very healthy. Crossbows 175 kills. And then, yeah, Wargs 82 is the best there. And then we have McClare playing as Gondor, his general, getting 98 kills before he fell. His swords kind of underperforming, but they were facing off against really good infantry. 94 kills is the best of those. His spear is getting 171 kills, and then his archers 75 kills, and his cav, the best, getting 76. But there you go, guys. That is today's Dawnless Days battle. I hope you did enjoy. I think one thing I would critique on this Gondor army is probably the money spent on his archers. Just bring cheaper archers. They're just as effective in most ways. They still do just as much damage. And then you can spend the money elsewhere. Because in the end, numbers kind of made a difference. He had, was outnumbered by an extra 400 troops. And if you had, a couple of extra units because he brought cheaper archers, I think McClare would have been okay. Maybe another cav unit he could have brought, which may have changed the game. But there you go. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, do remember to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that shenanigans. And I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye for now.